Good evening. I'm about to do the oath of office for Committee Member Zia Hotak and Committee Member Dennis Rowe. If you could stand, please. If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ziaur Rahman Hotak,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of California
of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic.
that I will bear true faith
I will be true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
that I take
that I take
this obligation
this obligation
freely
freely
without any
without any
mental reservation
mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will
and that I will
well and faithfully
well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, congratulations and welcome both. With the swearing in, let's go ahead and call to order the regular session of the Measure Z Oversight Advisory Committee for today. And let's start off with a roll call, Heidi.
Committee Member Alvarado.
Here.
Committee Member Hotak.
Present.
Committee Member Rowe.
Here.
Vice Chair Underdown.
Here.
Chair Rodriguez.
Here. All right, and let's go ahead and do the flag salute. Can I get a volunteer for the Pledge of Allegiance? Anyone? I'll do it. All right, perfect. Stand up. All you.
Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
Of the United States of America.
which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's start off on the list here. Public comments. Heidi, do we have any public comments?
We have no public comments.
All right, any comments from the committee members? Okay, all right, very good. Thank you very much. Let's go with the approval of the agenda as presented on the list here. I'll make a motion. Can I get a second to approve the agenda as presented? Second. All right, second. Heidi?
Motion carries. Sorry, let's do a motion. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right. And we're going to go to item 1 here, the consent calendar, which is the minutes of February 2026. Recommendation is to approve the minutes as presented. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Can I get a second?
So moved.
All right. Heidi?
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, very good. Okay, let's get down to business here. Fiscal year 2025-26, third quarter financial report for Measure Z. Adam?
Thank you. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members, members of the public, and fellow city staff. My name is Adam Chance, and I'm the Finance Manager here at the City of Wildomar, and I'm here with you tonight to present the third quarter fiscal year 25-26 Measure Z financial report. So we'll start off with a point-in-time balance sheet for the fund. So the assessments, as you know, they come in on the property tax bills, and we usually get them in two deposits to the city. We've received one. The other one we have not received yet. So if you look at the point in time, we've received only about half of the assessment allotted. So that means that at the current point in time, the fund balance is negative, but that's simply because we haven't received the second remittance from the county yet. When that happens, and we also haven't journaled in the contributions for parks maintenance from our facilities districts. When that happens, our projected fund balance on the budget will be positive $93,000. So that will rectify itself by fiscal year end. Summary of the revenues. Obviously, the assessment, as noted, is about half of what it is supposed to be, $200,000. That's been unchanged as we receive one usually in January and another one in around the end of the fiscal year here in the next few weeks. For the facility rentals, we do receive those revenues continuously. We received, out of our original projected $12,000, $30,754 for facility rentals, as the fields are pretty much fully booked. Windsong Park, we've only received $25 out of the $100. I believe that's a $5 per rental facility for the Windsong Park gazebo. For the expenditures, so for the major expenditures at the city, this covers our four main parks. General parks maintenance, we have a budget of $129,400, and we spent $102,000 out of those. Marno O'Brien has a budget of $122,000, and we spent $166,000 so far. Heritage is $45,000 out of $43,000, and Windsong Park $55,000 out of the $46,000 budget. And Malaga is $6,000 out of the $11,400. Now, some of those actuals will drop down when the CFD contributions are journaled into that, so those will reduce them somewhat. We'll put them more in line with the to make the actuals more in line with the budget. And then some items of note for the parks. So electricity costs are increasing along with the reservations. So even though we have seen high field rentals, the lights that are kept on during those reservations use up considerably more electricity. And so that is, even though we are seeing some additional field reservation revenue, it is kind of being offset by the additional electricity cost. There are also plans to slurry seal the parking lot of Marno O'Brien in the next month or two, along with the city's slurry seal program. Heritage and Windsong Parks are also getting new bark in the next month. And the exterior lighting on Marno O'Brien is being replaced with new LED lights, which will also hopefully contribute to lowering the electricity cost a bit. And in addition to that, we also have some items of note turn it over to our Public Works Manager, Daniel Torres, for some additional items of note on this presentation.
Yes, thank you. And so, as our finance manager, Adam Jentz, has communicated that we see certain expenditures throughout this period. So this period to mark is our third quarter, so January through March. And items to note is that this is still considered our ending of our winter season, right? And so then we head into spring. And so things to note is that what we see mainly around this time frame is in preparation for the spring summer season. And so item to note is that with Heritage, we did see an increase in cost within Heritage, and that was mainly to help address herbicide application, right? And so we had the hillsides, the weeds that are along the park, we had all that sprayed. And so with no actual turf currently within that park, so Heritage did see a significant higher amount of cost than the other park facilities. Item to note as well is that all parks were addressed for herbicide application. So your sports turf is ready for like the spring season, right? And so as we have baseball, softball out there, it is ready for that sport. Also, item to note is that during this time frame, Marno O'Brien did see an incident occur. And so there was a car that actually drove through Palomar's vinyl fence, broke actually the barrier gate, and that was there. We got reports from security, PD, right? And so in order to get those items addressed, we did pay it out of Measure Z. And so you'll see the contractor's cost in there. So all those items have been repaired. Everything's back. The goal with that is that we do take it and provide it to our risk team, and they ultimately will address it through the driver's insurance. So that's where we're attempting to recoup costs. Another item to note is that if you look at Malaga Parks expenditures, you'll see that for janitorial services, the contractor's name had changed. So our contract with Allied Janitorial Services had come to an end on the end of January. We then transitioned to the cleaning squad in February, and the cost for Malaga is the lowest we've seen since bringing on janitorial service to that site. And this new contractor ultimately is based on the actual services being provided, not just a flat blanket fee that covers all parks. And so, an item to note as well is that the previous quarter, what we saw is that we had to pay a contractor to go and replace the backflow prevention device because it was actually stolen. And what we saw this particular quarter is actual water costs at Heritage. And so you'll see there's an increased water cost, and that's because of that incident. And so it's now reflected on this quarter. And with that stated, that summarizes this report.
Thank you, Daniel. And with that, we're open to questions from the committee. Thank you.
There it goes. I had a couple questions. For the backflow prevention, right? Are those encaged?
Yes. So our backflow preventers are in cages, right? These thieves are getting very creative, right? They carry with them grinders and whatever tool they need. They already have a mindset of where they're going, and so again, it's very hard to stop those kind of thefts if they're bringing the proper tools.
Are you guys is it regular encaged galvanized cage, or are you guys using like the new 3D mesh that's being used everywhere for it's a little bit harder to cut through and stuff like that?
Right, and so with those items, right, they still take a padlock, right, and so they're able to go and the first thing they go for is the padlock. Right, they cut that padlock, and then from there they take a sawzall or whatever to cut those the backflow preventers off. So what we're beginning to do is, rather than those items being brass, we're going plastic.
Perfect.
Right. This way, there's no even desire to steal something. That's,
so the one that was replaced is that a plastic?
That's correct.
Okay. Is it painted or is
yes, we paint them.
You paint them?
Yeah, we paint them all green.
All green?
Yeah.
Okay. Follow-up question for that, because we go through the same issues. I've seen that, and one of the things is that there's no way to really deter that, right? It's one of those things that, but have you guys thought of any creative way? Because they won't even know it's plastic, right? Because it's painted.
Well,
so they're still going to cause the damage.
Right. So there's a big differentiation between the plastic and the bronze, or is that they're square. It has a square component unit looking rather than the round, the actual pipe looking style. And so with these individuals, they tend to now understand if it's worth it or not. And so with these ones that we've began to replace with plastic, we haven't seen an issue or reoccurrence, right? And so we're hoping that this is a good practice to continuously going through. But again, this is still pretty early on in that procedure.
And then I had a couple other questions regarding the herbicides being used. What are you guys actually using?
It depends on the location, right? So within let's see, the most common chemical utilized out there is called Speed Zone. Yeah. And so our vendors, we require them to have a restricted materials permit, and do the proper posting for those type of materials. And that's why it goes outside agency, so that, again, we're able to follow through all those requirements with the Ad Commissioner's Office.
Okay. And And then last question on the I guess it would be mulch, right?
It's actually considered a certified wood fiber.
Certified wood fiber.
Yes.
And is that being bought by the city from a vendor, or is that the one that can be used to recycled for free?
No, so the requirements that they have a particular certification that comes alongside that's specific for playgrounds, that they meet the compaction ratio, the access requirements, and also that they're certified what type of wood it is.
Oh, so this is for the playground?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I was confused. I thought it was for like landscape.
No, yeah, these are specifically for playgrounds, and the two playgrounds are Regency Heritage, and Windsong Park.
And how often do you guys usually switch those? Right before summer, usually, like twice a year.
Yeah, it's usually we apply this time of year, and then we'll reapply right before the rain season, so that when it rains, the compaction goes down, brings back to a normal surface.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Quick question on the LED light installation. We've talked about in previous meetings about the cost of Edison continuing to go up. I think we all see that. Do you have any indication on what type of savings we're going to see with the LED light switch?
And so these units within the building themselves, they were the old halogen bulbs, right? And so just going to a LED, it'd be significant. And so we have not quite estimated the full amount, what we'll see, but within the next billing cycle, we'll be able to see the big actual determination of what that cost is.
That's great. And then going back to that car crash, what was the damage amount on there? And do we expect the insurance on the car to cover that? Should we go back for it?
Yeah, so normally we do provide these items to our risk manager. Then they follow the process. I'm not currently aware of where they are in that process, but in regards to repairing the vinyl fence and the gate barrier, it was close to about $4,000. Yeah.
So it wasn't hundreds of thousands or anything like that. Okay. That's all I have. All right, I think we're good on that. So for item 2.1, staff recommends that the committee receive and file the 2025-26 third quarter financial report. Let's move on to item 2.2. I don't need a vote on. We don't need a vote on that, right? Okay.
No.
Let's go to item 2.2, which is the Measure Z annual report.
All right, committee members, once again, Daniel Torres, Public Works Manager. And so before you tonight is the long-awaited annual report. And so the reason it's been long-awaited has been we've been waiting for Section 5, which is the financial report. And so this annual report covers for fiscal year 24-25. At that time, the committee had looked different. It was different members, with a select few of you still were on that board. Within that stated, key items to note within the annual report. One, this particular year stated is when city staff had taken over landscape services over within the parks. Prior, since incorporation or taking over these parks, it was all contracted based. And so as of August of 2024, city staff was then handling all park maintenance. Item to note as well is there is a transition within janitorial services. And so we were previously with a company that we've had for years. They're CBM. Then we transitioned for a one-year agreement, which you'll see here with Allied Janitorial Services. Within this report, we did receive one committee member's park assessment. And then lastly, as mentioned, is the financial section, financial audit of the Measure Z assessment. So the recommendation tonight is to have reviewed the report, provide any comments or corrections or adjustments, and then from there, we'll be presenting this report to the City Council.
Okay. Any questions from the committee on the annual report? No. I looked at it when it was posted by Heidi last week. I mean, everything seems like it makes sense. I don't see anything in here glaring or anything that looks incorrect. So the recommendation is obviously provide comment, which we don't have any, and approve the annual report for submittal to the City Council. So I think we'll go forward with that. Right.
So we do need to take a motion and
We
a
do have
second,
to?
please.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve this annual report for submittal to the City Council. We got a second here.
Is everybody in favor?
In favor? Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Very good. All right. Off to the City Council. All right. Parks Manager report. Back to you, Daniel.
All right. Yes, thank you. So tonight I do have a couple of items. One is software. So we did discuss last period that we will be transitioning to a Civic Rec software that would handle all park reservations. And so within the transition within city departments and then also adjustments within the software itself, we are bringing a final item to council in regards to finalizing that software in preparation to launch. And so within the next few months or so, you'll actually see and we'll actually be able to utilize that now for leagues and public rentals. So everything will go through this particular platform rather than manually. Second part of software is the city will be looking to launch a See-Click Fix app. And so this app is a service request app. So any resident or community member within Wildomar is able to snapshot an image, send a report to the city saying that they've seen an issue, and then staff is able to address it from there. So it's a more robust system that allows residents to interact directly and report items directly to city staff. Next, an upcoming project within Winsong Park is that at Winsong Park there's a portable restroom, right? And in that in-fence closed area, you'll see there's like a hand wash station and whatnot. We're actually going to lay a concrete pad next to that location, and then we'll be placing the hand washing station and a trash can there. And so just to make that area just a little bit more cleaner, nicer looking, we're going to be adding a concrete pad prior to fiscal end. And lastly, I did want to communicate 2 temporary event permits that will be held at Marna O'Brien. First is May the 30th, this Saturday, is the Antique and Classic Car Show that is actually held by the Santa Rosa Plateau, the Nature Education Foundation. And so staff is now preparing that location to transition to now be a venue where they'll be hosting close to 200 vehicles, antique and classic vehicles. And so last year was a great success. If you did not attend last year, recommend attending this year, as it will be the most amount of cars ever showcased at Marna O'Brien. Next is June 6th, the following Saturday. There'll be Cornerstone will be holding the Wildomar 1K, 5K, 10K run, where the starting point will be Marna O'Brien, and it will go through the route within the city of Wildomar, going through flood channels and back around. So really highly anticipated attendance in an event. I believe they're at close to 200 registered runners. And so again, first event, May 30th, this Saturday, and then the following Saturday is June 6th, Antique Car Show and the 5K, 10K run. And that will summarize my Parks Manager report.
Very cool. Glad to see Marna O'Brien getting lots and lots of use. Classic Car Show sounds fun. Running, not so much, but that's just for me. Great. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Adam. I don't think we have anything else. Any future agenda items from the committee here?
I had a couple questions, though.
Oh, absolutely. All you.
I had a couple questions regarding you mentioned the software. What software are you guys using for the reservations?
It is called Civic Rec. So it is part of the Civic Plus platform. So Civic Plus currently holds our city website, so it quickly and nicely integrates into that. And so if you go onto our city website and you go into the parks page, then it's easy to transition and then utilize the software itself through that platform.
On that note, if someone were to use that, would they be able to make a reservation within minutes for that same day, or is there a waiting period?
So there is it depends on the type of reservation, right? Because if you were to select a date and just utilize in a gazebo just for a family function, shouldn't be an issue. But the items that then require staff review is if you have a jump, a bounce house, right? And so then it would require for you to then provide the insurance. Staff will have to review that and then provide their approval. But pretty much standard like gazebo rentals shouldn't be an issue. Again, but then the other item to note is that similar with the sports field reservations, right? Just confirming that they have the proper insurance and documentation.
And two more questions. You said as residents will be able to do reporting of any.
Yes, so that's under C-Click Fix, so a separate platform.
What's the name of that?
C-Click Fix.
C-Click Fix. Thank you. And the last question, you mentioned the restroom portable will have a slab foundation, right? Question, is that portable ADA compliant or is it just regular?
It is ADA
It
compliant.
is ADA compliant. Perfect. That's all my questions. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
One day we will stump you, Daniel. Today will not be that day. Awesome. No future agenda items from the committee members here we want to put on? Okay. All right. With that, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone.